Hey everybody, Mediocre Magic Man back at it again, doing my second draft video. Hammered out hopefully some technical details, so I'll be clear, have better quality for this next one. So what do we have in this pack? There's Mending of Dominaria. I still don't know how I feel about this card. At a 5-drop, it's late enough in the game that you usually get something back, so it's kind of draw 2 creatures and then get the ability to play it. So it can be quite good. Problem is that Danitha and Hal are also quite good, and it's more difficult to set up. So I haven't actually gotten even a chance to try it yet, because I haven't been taking it early, and people value it highly enough that it hasn't come back around, or I haven't seen it in a situation where I am already in green. I think my pick here is actually going to be Danitha, because it's just stronger on its own, and I know that it's good, whereas Mending of Dominaria is a bit of a risk for me. Okay, so white wasn't bad. Bayard, I don't know how you say that name. Steward of Argiv, pretty strong card. There are a lot of go wide Saproling type decks, and this really stops them in their tracks, as well as just being, because they can't attack, they have to pay, billion mana to get in, as well as just being a 2/4 vigilance is pretty good value for your 4 mana. I think that's probably the pick here. Spore Swarm is kind of nice, but I'd rather go with the white, and we can make both of these things work. Gideon's Reproach, good, removal is a combat trick. 4 damage, takes away most things. Skizzic's pretty strong, but you really only works in an aggressive deck. So I think Reproach here is just the snap pick. We're getting up a lot of white, so hopefully we'll force all the players to our left to not be. And that'll work out for us. I should look at these names. Last draft, I think I ended up playing the one of the players in my pod in round 3. They had the same art on their the icon, but who knows? Oh, okay. I'm kind of tempted to take the Inferno just because I already have 2 legendaries, but that's just the wrong move. That's just greedy if I was to try and do that with Blessed Light in the pack, which keeps me on track. White's probably open. Blessed Light is, I'd say, almost first pickable. Well, probably. At the very least, coming through 4th is late enough that white is probably open. There were probably not 3 other good white cards in this pack. So, this pack is mixed. Shy is good if I end up in green-white, but you really need to be the token go-wide thing. It's not really a splashable card. I guess none of these really are, but it's probably just going to... Invoke the Divine keeps me on color, and you can main board it, but I think I might just take Memorial to Genius here. It's good. It's pretty much a free roll by being a land, and it's a sign that blue might be open, so maybe I'll get rewarded. Nope. No more blue. So it's probably going to be Keldon Raider here. I saw That's not really splash. Well, none of these are splashable. Maybe Radiating Lightning. But I saw Tiana, Ship's Caretaker, go by. So if that kind of comes around, maybe nobody is trying the red-white. Maybe I can make it work. I like it over the Lava Runner. I know people are up on the Lava Runner lately, but I'm just not in Wizards, and I'm not in that deck. Okay, so maybe I made the right call on that blue. Blink of an Eye is a double blue card because you really want to be able to kick it. So with that in mind, I'm going to pick the Snapper here, and then I can just be... Where is it? Do I go with Trapper and just stay in the white lane? Oh, it's a very tough call. I think I'm going to go with Snapper and see if I can bank on that blue coming around further. Let's see, Relic Runner. I don't like any of these cards in any capacity. I'm just going to take the strongest card, which is Thorn Elemental. It's way out of what I'm doing, but I don't like any of these other things in most decks. Okay, Syncopate here. Maybe the blue is coming around. The white has dried up almost completely. So, Blessed Light was not really the sign that we thought it was. It was too early. Trying to figure out which I like better. I think I like Opt, given that I've already got one Syncopate. You don't really need more than 2 Syncopates in any particular deck. And Opt will help get card advantage. Not card advantage, but filtering. I think it's just a better call. I'd rather have the ability to find what I need than have one more thing that I might be what I need. I'm going to take the Glider here. I'm down on Assistant. I'd rather have just a bit more flyers, and Worm. Maybe I do move into green. I don't know. I'm going to instant sideboard him. Ooh, Teferi. Okay. That's working for me right now. I don't know why the preview isn't working. I gotta zoom in on it. That's just the choice here. It's the value pick, and I wormed my way into blue-white, so we're gonna make it go. Oof. Good work. Good work. I love this thing that, like, I've only seen Planeswalkers do it, where they come outside the frame. Look at his head there popping over into his title box. Zooming in on cards is one of my favorite things about MTGO. You see it in so much better detail than you can on the card itself. Oh, buddy boy. So, blue, wide open. It's a tough call. I've got 3 legendaries already, which is leaning me towards the Temporal Sundering. Down normally on legendary sorceries because they're so hard to set up. But to me, the threshold is 3 to 4. So if you've got 3, you can do it, but it's pretty risky. And if you've got 4, then you just roll it like it's a spell. You're just safe to run it. Given that I've got the 3 and we're still relatively early in the draft, I'm going to go for it here and see what happens. But Weight of Memory, Blink of an Eye, or Deep Freeze, all 3 of those could be the right pick. But I'm going with the higher power level, taking the risk. Speaking of power levels, so here we're got an interesting choice. I think it's Tempest Djinn just because it can be that much more powerful. You could argue that the Journey Mage is better because it's more castable, or you could go with Divination for card draw. But given the concentration of blue in these packs, I don't have a lot of blue already, but given how much is here, it's probably going to keep coming. So I think I can take this and count on having a deck where I can run enough islands to be able to cast my Tempest Djinn. So, not any blue in this pack that's usable for me. This is decent, a Wizards deck, but that's not what I'm building here. I think I just go with Unicorn here. 2/2 Lifelinker. I don't have a lot of 2-drops. Lifelink is powerful. Probably followed up with another one here. Thorn Elemental coming around again. It's a strong card, but as I spoke about in my last draft, it's not as strong as it looks. There are better things you can be doing with your 7 mana. Let's go with the Unicorn. Adelies the Cinderwind. Oh, maybe I should have been doing Wizards. But no, I think this is all better for me. Only got 8 creatures so far. I think maybe I want Invoke the Divine. I'm kind of looking like a later game type deal here where I try and get in with flyers after we're, stabilize on the ground, which leads me to believe that Invoke is better in a controlling style deck where, if I was more aggro, I'd rather just play a creature. I think I'm going to go with that here. This format, there's so many good artifacts and enchantments that you want to have that. I'm putting it in the sideboard for now, depending upon how many playables we have and what the final deck looks like. We'll see what happens. Snapper or Arcane Flight? I think probably it's the Snapper. I've got other flyers that I can get in with. Having the Snapper sort of, it's you drop a Snapper and the ground is locked up, particularly if I've got 2 of them. Maybe I'll find more and live the dream, get the Arcane Flights later and have the Flying Turtle. I think it's Rescue here. It's not fantastic, but I don't really like Pardic Wanderer or Sparring Construct. Sparring Construct is good if you're, I guess, aggressive, so you can swing and still get the value if they decide to block it. But and Pardic Wanderer is just too expensive. I'd rather play Snappers and stuff. I don't think I need a 3rd Snapper. I think here the 2nd Syncopate works for me. As I said, we're getting to a more control-y style here, so having the ability to hold up and stop my opponents from doing things. Oh man, the Deep Freeze and the Blink of an Eye came back? This is the pack that had the Sundering in it, isn't it? I think I want Deep Freeze here. I'm about to time out on it. I'm kind of light on removal, and I can get in with flyers after I get the Deep Freeze down. Otherwise, I think I'd like Blink more, but just trying to get in with... I keep saying flyers. I've got 2 flyers. That is not enough. We'll take Guardians. Guardians is fairly decent. A 4/4 for 5 is not the absolute worst. I mean, it looks bad compared to Baloth Gorger, but it's colorless. I mean, I could get some value out of it if they, Deep Freeze Danitha or Baird or something. Yeah, because there's... I don't know, I've seen mill decks, but they're not very good. Okay. So normally, in an earlier pack, I saw Journey Mage and Drake right next to each other, and I started talking about the Journey Mage. But I think at this point, I kind of need to go with the Drake, because I need ways to get in and win. The whole game plan of winning in the air, I'll deep freeze their thing and then swing with flyers and not worry about them coming back at me. So I think that's the pick here. Given how last pack went, either the deep freeze, the snapper, or the Journey Mage is going to wheel. One of those 3 cards is coming back to me, and I will be satisfied with anyone. Oh, another Journey Mage. Here it's probably the pick. I like it more than Befuddle. I've been down on Befuddle. You've probably seen him going around, and I just didn't even pay any attention to it. I mean, it cycles, but it's the fact that it doesn't hurt toughness means that you don't actually kill their creature out of nowhere. Like, they know that their creature's going to die when they get into a combat where Befuddle is good. You might get to get your creature to live as well, but it just makes it so much harder to set up. I think Quende is clearly the right pick here. Don't really have any 4-drops. It's another legendary to put Temporal Sundering online. Just good in a lot of ways. Blink of an Eye is an easy pick here. It's looking like we could have gone with red. If we'd have taken that Immolating Inferno, we could have had 2 of those, and we could have been, we definitely could have gone red-white instead. We could have had the Ship's Caretaker, 2 Immolating Infernos, and Squee. That would have been kind of nasty. Not that I'm dissatisfied with what we've got going on here, but that would not have been bad either. I think I go with Lance here. Good with Danitha will make my unicorns more of a problem. I think I take Deep Freeze here. I've got 2 snappers, and really I don't need a glut of 6-drops. 2 snappers in the Sundering. Plus, still could get that other snapper back. Oh man, it's too late for this. That would have been nice. I could have made that work if I'd have gotten that early in this draft. So, I've already got 1 Blink of an Eye. I think I go Deep Freeze here again. Again, just, lock down everything on the board and win with a couple of flyers. I think that's the game plan here. Not to mention they're cheaper if Danitha's out. It does hurt to be passing Blink of an Eye. Yeah. Oh, only the snapper came back. That's fine now. I think I take Befuddle here. God, that's so many cards. Good lord, so many snappers. I don't need that many snappers. We're going to cut down. 3 is enough snappers. I don't want any of these Befuddles. I don't want this Poet. I don't really want the Rescue either. I'll take Charge. I don't think I play it. It's not really what I'm doing. Relic Runner is also not good. Well, maybe it is. Let's see, how many historic triggers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, maybe I bring in the Relic Runners instead of the Unicorns. I'll wait till we get to actual building. I can actually see what's going on here. So, shrink this slightly. So 30, really 29. I'm going to do the thing that I do and move that out so I can keep count easier. Shh, it's okay, kitty. I know. Shh. So, let's see, what does it look like? If I bring in Relic Runner over the unicorns, 16 creatures. The Relic Runners have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triggers. It's still that same 8. See, the problem is that if I deep freeze all of their things, then my unicorns just sit there sad. Whereas if I've got their board deep frozen, the Relic Runners sort of serve the same purpose as the unicorn as blockers, but can also get through, when I Temporal Sundering, swing with 2 Relic Runners. That's kind of living the dream. Aether Steel Glider, swing with 2 Relic Runners, hit for 4. Oh, I definitely cut this Arcanist. That's not this deck. Same thing with the Scholar, more in a Wizards thing, which is not what I'm doing. It's not worth playing 1 or 2 to make the Journey Mage cheaper. 26. God, I still gotta make a lot of cuts. Looking at Jousting Lance, how many ways to get through? I got 1 flyer, 2 flyers, 3, 4 flyers to get in. So I don't really need to, lance up a ground creature to get through, but it also combos so well with Quende. Have Quende and Baird out and lance on Baird. That seems nasty. I think I need to keep the lance in. I think maybe I cut Opt. Opt is okay, but it's just not... No, I think I'm going to bring in Opt. Also, a thing that occurs to me that I didn't mention earlier is that having the Relic Runners also makes the Djinn more feasible. I think I cut 1 Snapper. I don't think I need 3 Snappers. I'm at 25 cards. The 1 Opt makes me think that maybe I could maybe get away with 24. Because I've got Opt. No. Wow, cuts are difficult. I think I'm going to go down to 1 Syncopate. Because they can just, if they get their creatures out, I just deep freeze them later. You need less counter spells the more other answers that you have. So, 24 with an Opt. Can I get away with that? No. I think I cut 1 Relic Runner. Alright, let's be realistic. So what's the curve? That's the curve. Yeah, we'll try this. 11-6, is that right? The ratio is tempting because of the Tempest Djinn, but with Baird as a 4-drop, I think I want to tweak it ever so slightly. Oh, and don't forget to bring in my Memorial and save it. Let's run it. It's okay, Lily. And we have an opponent. Join the match. I would like to play first. That hand is good. We're going to keep this. I don't have the second land for Baird, but it's fine. I can find the land with Opt. I can Syncopate early. They are deciding. Okay, we're just going to drop this island and pass. And step. Opt. I'll take it. That way I can most likely be able to cast Baird. I still need to get, you know, the fourth one, but I got time to do that. Oh, I didn't get to Syncopate. I don't think I hold up Syncopate. I think I just want to jam out. Maybe they'll Syncopate, but if they want to waste Syncopate on Aether's Glider, that's fine. Ah, Fungal Infection. That's pretty good. Surveyor. I wish I had one of those. Then I'd be real satisfied with the 16. I'm feeling very iffy about running 16. Or, I did run 17. That's right. I stuck to my guns, and it's not working. I think I just take 2 and Syncopate. I don't really want to... There's nothing to blink. Yep. Oh, that's... I'm having to Syncopate that. I'm going to guess that they have the ability to make that go nuts. Wow. Alright, now. Really glad I took the planes off of the opt. I'd be in real trouble here. As it stands, I'm behind, but I can still get there. Yeah, that's okay. I guess I run this out. I'm not really gonna reproach either of those two things. Pretend like I've got opt, I don't know. Because if I had that, I wouldn't have cast it, you know. Oh, I'm holding up. My bad. Well, it's a card I can cast. Another fungal infection. Of course it's another fungal infection. Because that's what I needed. Oh, and Nerumeha. Because, you know, just why not? Hey, you lost value. They could have fungal Nerumeha in response to their fungal infection their Skittering Surveyor, and end up with another Saproling. Even when I'm getting crushed. Point out what my opponent could have done better. What I could have done better was draw some lands. So let's see, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5. So if I reproach the Drake, I don't die. We're gonna try that. If I reproach the Drake and then draw Baird, I might be able to put it on lockdown for a little while. It's unlikely, but... See, what do I take? 3, 4, 5. So I go to 2, and now I'm still dead. They have got plenty of mana. Of course. Turn too late. I can play Baird and then swing in, block Baird, and take... Oh, I did my math wrong. I'm at 1. You got it. Congratulations. Alright, so they were playing a bunch of flyers and fungal infection, so I think, oh no, wrong way. Relic Runner comes out, for Mesa Unicorn, because that doesn't get crushed by fungal infection. And they were playing a lot, like, I saw saplings. I saw 2 fungal infections. Those are the only 2 sapling makers that I saw. So if they're playing like a saplings go wide deck, I think I would take out the deep freezes for a creature. But I don't necessarily think that that's what happened. I think that they're just running fungal infection because it's good value, and that it still is the kind of deck where I want deep freeze. Given that so I don't think there's any other changes to make. I'm thinking about trying to bring in the second unicorn, but I don't know what I would take out for it. So we're just going to run it. Play first? Yes, I would. This is very risky, but I'm going to try it. The upside is too high. If I can turn 3 Tempest Djinn, then I can go the distance. Go for speed. I don't want to be all alone though. It's not going to finish the last lyric of that in time of need, because I don't want to be in need either. This is looking okay. And they got nothing. Top deck the island. Oh, yes. We got there. Are they going to syncopate? Maybe, actually. I didn't see one, but it's a common. I'm going to go with this because then they have to leave up their whole next turn to land syncopate. This is... Oh, buddy boy. Alright. That's fine though. This'll work because I can play mine, and then if they they have another island, then they can get through for 4. Otherwise, I'll stop theirs for a turn, and then follow it up next turn with Deep Freeze, and just have it be dealt with. Yep, and you get to smack for 4. Yep, I will take 4. Drake. This works for me. So I wonder if I swing, if I can get them to block. I think I will. Either I get through or I kill their Drake. I'm fine with that either way. And they might just thinking that, they've got their Djinn. They don't need another flyer. No, they'll take it. Alright, I will drop this land for a turn and Deep Freeze. Still holding up for Syncopate 1 if I need to, but also can do the end of turn opt. Yeah, that's a lot of cards. I forget what I let Weight of Memory go, but I forget what I took over it. I should have syncopated that. That was dumb. I don't have any legends already, but I'm only at 5 mana too. And then what do I bounce? I bounce the thing so they can kick it later? No, I need to put that away. Oh, there we go. Now I can just drop a snapper. So let's go ahead and get in. I'm not going to be able to cast this Syncopate for forever now. Yeah. I'm fine with that trade. Ba 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 ba. Snap, snap. Oh, that That's a stinker. And it's too late to sideboard to bring in the, oof. Oh, and then now I've got the... Wow. Should have, kept the Sundering. I'd get shellacked for a couple of turns, but... So, Danitha helps because of the lifelink. I think I just need to start going. We're kind of in race mode here now. They'll probably chump with their Jin. Let's just stop 4. And then I'll drop Danitha. I wonder if the clutches would have happened if I had syncopated the weight. Yep, you're gonna hit me for 6 in the air. It's alright, I've got more things. I could get my other deep freeze. Blink of an eye would be fine. I've got answers to this. That messes up my race math. All of the flyers one could ever need. I'm so bad at playing control magic. Just never counter anything. That seems good. Well, let's try and get in. I'm not going to be blocking either of those things with Danitha. I'm up at 12. Let me go ahead and just dump this Guardian out. I don't have to, right? It's no. So our opponent is in a tough position that if they come in with both things and then don't have a follow-up, they're just dead to the crackback. Yep. Yep, I'll go to 3. At this point, they've got enough mana that they're probably not going to tap out for anything. I mean, what could they do? I guess they could be trying fungal infection before blocks. Yeah, what do they got? Huh. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So, if it's... I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So, if it's Vicious Offering, they'll go down to having 6 left. And I can syncopate for Xaxes. And if it's fungal infection, I can't syncopate it. And so I haven't seen Vicious Offering. I've seen fungal infection. If I swing, they fungal infection Danitha, I gain 1, and it doesn't matter even if she's got double strike. They probably just block that one with... Well, even if it's got double strike. If it's got double strike, they nerf that one. Then they take 2, and I gain 2 and go to 5, and it doesn't matter. So at this point, I just need to go and hope that it's Vicious Offering. If it is fungal infection, I'm just dead. So here we are. Yep, there it is. Fungal infection, and I can no longer just double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it wasn't even. Vicious Offering didn't even get it. I'll just show it to him. Yeah. Put it onto the stack and then concede. Man, we made so many mistakes. We're gonna go ahead and just run it through, though. That's why we do the Swiss. Just see what happens. League ends 4 weeks. Still just feels like we got started. Alright, here we in for round 2. After getting shellacked in round 1. Hey, I don't have to make the choice this time. Why I should do this. This must be a tough decision for my opponent. They're not really there. That's why it took them so long to decide. Yes, this is plenty good. I love having Syncopate on the draw, just because there's a lot of decks, our last deck that we played against in particular, that don't run a lot of 2-drops. So often you can Syncopate their 3-drop on your turn 2 and be plenty far ahead. Unfortunately, with Llanowar Elves, they could drop their 3-drop turn 2 here and just kind of overwhelm me. Okay, this is good. They're going to swing, so they don't have something too accelerated. So I could play Relic Runner, but they're clearly ramping to something, and 4 is a very hot number. And plus, Relic Runner, if I do play that, then they can just leave up whatever, they're going to play a creature, and I can't really get in with it anyway. So I think right now I just hold up for Syncopate, and hope to eliminate a 4-drop for my 2 mana. Wow, are they stuck on 2? Is our opponent stuck on 2? Oh, man. Oh, buddy. They're at 5 cards. And a 3-1... I think I do kind of want to Syncopate this. My opponent is stuck on lands, clearly. So I think if I Syncopate this and they're running a ramp deck. So I think if I Syncopate this and then Deep Freeze their elves, I'm just going to put them so far behind that I can draw whatever my heat is. Because this hand has got a lot of answers going on, but it's not really going anywhere. Here we get to be rude. No magic for you. Whatever they've got, they have to have something that's over a 3-drop. Otherwise, they would have played their 3-drop on the elves. So this really sets them back. I'll go ahead and play this. Time to go ahead and run out the Relic Runner. And then I can opt later. Got the mana for Blessed Light, so when they do get to their big green things, I've got the answers ready in hand. step. Opt. Yes, I will take Teferi. That seems not the worst. I got a blocker for Surveyor to keep Teferi around, and that gets us the card advantage we need to win here. So so I already played a land. I want to leave this up. It can get through right now, but at this point, I kind of just want to leave Teferi around. I think I got enough stuff that I could eventually ultimate. Unless it's like untap, play. What could they play? Call the Cavalry, I guess, would be more than I could deal with. Ooh, that's a good one. Is that worth hitting with Blessed Light? I think it might be. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. First, let's go ahead and do the Teferi thing. Okay, play a land. And we do it now, then they can't get through, so... Oh wait, creature or enchantment, not artifact. So they're gonna get through and hit Teferi for one. I think I'm just gonna run out this. Glider can't block. They're gonna tap this down anyway. But if I make them do it, then I can pull them off of a mana again. No, I think I just go for it. Gotta win the game somehow. You bring in that Invoke. It is sweet that by casting a 3-drop, we still got the ability to Blessed Light. I don't think it's worth Blessed Lighting the Surveyor to prevent the 1 damage on Teferi. Yeah, that's a card. I think I'll probably just blow that up. Oh, they're not going to swing it to Teferi. They have not thought this through. Oh, that's right, they could. Oh yeah, it was a free roll because I left my blocker. This guy can't block. Maybe they didn't realize that. I don't fully understand. Draw a card. Yeah, that's plenty good. So now I just jam in with this here glider. I don't know what they've got. I guess if I untap their lands, it gives them a chance to activate Icy Manipulator. You got to be careful with the way Teferi works, because you have to untap lands. So if none of your lands are tapped, you have to untap theirs. And so I could easily have set myself up to untap their land, and... Ooh, okay. This is good. I'm going to actually just totally blow them out with this Reproach, unless they've got like Adamant Will. in which case, even then, it's not bad. It's only 2, and then I can deep freeze it. Nope. They be sad. Yeah, and as you can see, there's no way they can get their way out of that. Alright, upon green, white, ramp. I didn't actually see anything that was like, go wide. I definitely bring in the Invoke. I think I bring in the Invoke over 1 deep freeze. I don't really want to make any other changes. I think that this is fine. Depending upon what happens this game, I might consider taking out either the Relic Runner or the Disciple for the Mason Unicorns. But I think right now, I don't see any real reason to do that. Whoops. They are taking a long time. It took a long time to decide last game, too. Jin in hand with only 1 island. Temporal Sundering. I think I pitched this, because these are 2 dead cards. I need to draw a lot to make both of these work. So I've really only got 1 castable card. I think this is a mulligan. I'm much happier with this one. This has got action going on. I'm on the draw again, so I get to have the potential syncopate their 3-drop that I was talking about that just puts you ahead. I'm going to bottom that. I think I can get stronger cards. It's castable, but I don't have anything historic to trigger it. I'd rather just top deck like Quende or Bayard or Danitha. Danitha would be great. I think that would be prime for this hand, because that's castable. I'd also be happy, just gotta find an island on time, so I can kick this. Someday our opponents will figure out what to do. So they mulliganed to 6, so what's happening? Okay. Memorial to Glory. Go ahead and open with the island. I gotta play around those triple color things. Last draft I screwed up by I had Steel Leaf Champion in my deck, and I had a black 3-drop in hand, but I didn't play. I should have still played my forests first, because I then ended up top decking Steel Leaf Champion and was unable to cast it. Yeah, that's perfect. This is turning out well. I'm liking where this is going. Maybe make my opponent not do anything out of fear of syncopate. How long can I keep them from doing anything? Probably a long time. But at 4, I don't think that there's anything that they can do that I can't handle with Gideon's Reproach. So we're going to jam out Quende. Next turn it'll be great though, because we'll have 5 down and we'll leave up for a massive syncopate, Reproach, or Blink of an Eye. Yep, here's a 5-drop. Blessed Light. Oof. Okay. Well, it happens. It's fine. Yeah. Now we're kind of in a holding pattern here until we find the 6th land. We just kind of don't let them do anything. Knight of New Benalia. That can resolve. Wow, did they really wait that long just because they're afraid of syncopate? Yeah, we're gonna let this go. I'll probably reproach that. Just because they're down to 3 cards. I'm fine trading a 2-drop for a 2-drop. It does kind of open them up, so if they have been playing around syncopate, they can stop doing that. And they're probably going to try and crack Memorial, which that's fine. It's so weird. I think I take this. It kind of hurts because it's a tap land, so I can't actually play the Snapper next turn. But the value is high enough that I'm happy with it. I think I just jam out the turtle. Get the board state going. I've got things to do later. Yep. Let's see. 2 1/1s. Turtles eat 1/1s for breakfast. Matter of fact, is that what's going on in the art there? No, it's the birds. A bird. A bird is the word. So this is interesting. I could just deep freeze Evra. But I kind of like the idea of letting them try to gain the life and then just bouncing it with Blink of an Eye, so I just set their life total to 4. See, do I have enough mana to both cast Danitha and do that? I got 6 mana. This is a tap land. So no. I think I probably just swing. Yeah, I'm going to play this and swing with the Snapper and see if I can get him. This kind of lets them get 2 points of damage in for free, but the potential upside. Yep. I don't get to get them this way, but I still think that I do this so they don't gain 4 life. It would have been nice to just be like, ha, gotcha. Oh, I didn't have enough mana to kick in Danitha. But I did kind of forget that Danitha does make the auras cheaper. So after I cast Danitha, the Deep Freeze only costs 2. So I think we'll get in and see if I can just, they'll make the trade. Yeah, we're going to go with that. They're probably just going to take 4 again. Or chump with a soldier. I don't see them putting Evra and a soldier on. And then Danitha. 2, 3. And Deep Freeze. Pay 1, 2. And then we're too late in the game. They could just play something cheap, so we don't need to hold up Syncopate anymore. next turn will be fine. We'll either draw something to play, or we'll be able to hold up Syncopate, and if we don't need to Syncopate, use Memorial. Kicked Grow from the Ashes. Okay. They certainly have enough lands. Mana for days. So let's see. This costs 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So take away 3 does not give me enough. 5 including it. So I don't have enough to cast the Glider and crack the Memorial, which I think I really want to crack. So I think I just leave up. Not to mention, they're like, if they're ramping to Verdant Force, then having the Syncopate up will be very crucial here. Let's see, what are they at now? 4 or 5 there, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana total. Yeah, it could definitely be Verdant Force. Reproach. I'm okay with that. The Snapper will get there on the ground. They're probably like, I should have double blocked. Yeah, you should have. I would be one less Snapper, but still up a removal spell in my hand. They must have enchantment removal if they're not blocking with Evra right away. They're probably hoping to find their Invoke the Divine or Broken Bond. They're just gonna take it? What could they possibly think that I have? Alright, well, here we go. I guess Danitha was a free swing I should have taken. No, because they had up. They reproached. It's only in hindsight after the reproach has been cast that I can tell that. Cats all over the place today. End step. Sweet. Cancel. I guess I already did opt. But... Oh, buddy. Wow. Oh, he does have exactly one. That Onslaught is gonna resolve. I guess it's not the absolute worst it could be. But yeah, they were definitely waiting. Because now if I Syncopate for 1, they just tap the Elves. And I don't think that gets me anywhere. The Elves being tapped doesn't really help me. So... Okay. Now I've got my own Invoke the Divine. For whatever good that does me. I guess I just run out this Glider. Man, they were so ready. They probably thought it out ahead of time. They were probably like, they're going to crack the Memorial and then not have enough to Syncopate. And they were exactly right. That's well played. On Sierra's Wings. See, I can't Syncopate that, but it's fine because I can invoke it. And I wait for them to swing because then I take it out of the air and my Snapper just eats it. Yeah, this is good. attackers. 3. And then we just get to sort of win the game eventually with this flyer. It's pretty good. Alright. Let's go ahead and get in. I don't understand. Why not reproach to save your guy? Oh, they couldn't because of the snapper. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Now, you got just the right amount of power over there. Second snapper does not really help me. But they also have enough mana that I'm not. I think I just hold on to this. Because it doesn't help me get through, and I'd rather just be able to counter the... I'm guessing this deck has got some other big, huge bombs in them. And I just needed to avoid getting blown out by those to win this game. So unless it's something that actually eventually gets me there, I think I do nothing for a while. Return up to 1 target non-land permanent. So this is interesting. If I bounce, even though it's got the deep freeze on it, if I bounce Evra, swing, yeah, because then I can syncopate Evra when they try to replay him. So I think that that's the play here, because then the snapper can start to get through. So here we go. Choose target player. I am the target player to take an extra turn. And choose up to 1 non-land permanent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go combat. We will jam with this turtle. And they'll probably take it, because otherwise I get to come in with Danitha and Baird in the free turn. So, and then this turn they probably block it. So let's see, Ever costs 6, and they've got 3, 9, 10 mana available. So I would need Syncopate 4. 1, 2, let's see, I've got 10 mana available. So if I cast the snapper, I can't get there. So we just need to hold. Whatever, I don't have anything else. 9. Handle that. And then next turn, unless they have a follow-up, I think it's swing out, and I just get it. Yep. Glorious. And we got there. So, we messed up a little bit, but we recovered. Let's go into the final one. Just straight into it. Get it done. Let us join this match. I would like to play first. This hand's a little slow. I'll try it. This hand, it's... I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna keep this one. It's game one. I don't know what kind of deck they're running. If their deck is slower, it's fine. If it's an aggro deck, I'm gonna be punished very badly. Cool, we're drawing the lands that we need. I'm not gonna bluff syncopate. Just get this lance down. Get moving. Let them go ahead. Let's get through their turn. Another green-white deck. So this one got a 2-drop. That's a good 2-drop. That's very important to their deck. So if I just throw down this Drake, they probably won't swing because they don't want to trade the Thallid for the Drake. They'd probably rather have their Lord around. So we're going to jam this out instead of leaving up for the Reproach. Maybe they're trying to think if they should swing. They're gonna swing. Stop. Okay. I will just go ahead and take this hit. I was kind of hoping that I could, make them not attack. But, I can just reproach it later. Pegasus Corsair. Okay. So if I lance this up, I'm coming in for 4 in the air, and they go to 16 at the same time that I go to 15, and then I'm clocking for 4 while they're clocking for 2. I think that's the call here. That kind of puts us on race math mode, but I win that race, and I've got the Reproach to affect it later. Opponent is having a hard time here deciding what to do or not do about this. Here we go. Jam. Maybe they'll block. That would be sweet. If they're just like, alright, I'll block the Corsair. But they're not going to do that. Trying to think of what my opponent could have. If they had Sap Herd, they probably would have just played that last turn instead of the Corsair, just because that's so much more power down onto the board. The flying is nice, but you wouldn't play a 1/3 flyer when you can make a 3/3 and a 2/2 for the same mana. So they could have Spore Swarm, I guess. In which case they just wait. Yeah, I don't know what's in their hand. Shoshana Cisse's Legacy, however you say that. I don't really know. Oh. Makes Honor Guard a 3/2. So now I've got options here. So let's see, if I swing and they try to double block, then I can blow them out and take both with either of my removal spells here. I think, because if I play a creature, I can't Blessed Light, or a Reproach rather. And I don't think that they're going to get in. I really want to Reproach the Corsair. I can deal with Shoshana on the ground, or Shana, or whatever their name is. Looks like that Valkyrie from Thor. I'm going to go ahead and swing in so that they're more likely to get in with the Corsair, so that I can take the Corsair down and then just be in a ground brawl situation where I can get my Snapper and my Kolos down. I'm going to take some life for it, but I think it's going to put me in a good position. And if it's another Corsair, I think I'm just dead. Yep, coming in for a lot. And I guess if they've got Adamant Will, I'm also just dead, but we're... Yep. Let's take 2 less damage there than they calculated, because it makes Shana smaller. But it is still hitting me for 8 damage, which is a lot at 15. At this point, the Drake can no longer get in. Yes, definitely not. I would love to top deck a land. Well, this helps. So, my opponent's only got 5 mana, and all their things are on the ground, except for the Sierra Disciple. I think if I play Baird, it's gonna... So, they've only got 2 cards left. So, they want to get in with everything. They got to pay 4 mana, which gives them the ability to cast a 1-drop afterwards. Let's see, they just swing with Shoshana or Shana. I block with the Drake, and I'm fine with that trade. They swing with just the Disciple. I block. If they got a Historic trigger and then also swing the Disciple, I think I just take it. But that requires a Historic spell, CMC 4 or less, unless they make land drop. So I guess it's not that far out of range. But I think that that's the right play. And hope that if I can stop this, you know... I kind of... At the moment, it's looking like I'm going to have to Blessed Light Shana. But if I can kill off a few creatures, then maybe I can hold off the Blessed Light for something stronger later on in the game. Wish I had the mana to, you know, move the Lance over to Bard. A 4/4 Vigilance would block a lot better. Because right now, if they swing with the Disciple and Shana, then I just have to take 4, I think. Oh, am I just dead? I might just be dead. That might have done it. Okay. So you get to hit me for 2 in the air. My opponent has a Karn. You can have Knight of Grace. It matters not. Maybe it does. Yeah, you gotta pay 2. So that is exactly 7, so I just absolutely have to block. I'm at 5. So let's see, if I exile this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power on board. So even if I get rid of that, it's still Xaxes. And the same thing goes if I play a creature, it just serves as a blocker for that. Yeah, they just got it. Begin sideboarding. I think I want to bring in these unicorns over Relic Runner. And I haven't seen a Journey Mage at all today. They had a couple of decent flyers, so this guy won't really get in. I think that's the call. You can't block their flyers, and it's not going to get through. So it. Would you like to play first? Yes, I would. Yeah, this is a fine hand. It's kind of a weird question. Do we hold off on the Memorial so that Jin comes down as a 3/4? I don't think so. I think I'd still rather not have to have a tap land later. I could draw, Snapper and need to be able to play it. 2, 3, yep. Journey Mage. Sure. What are they sitting on? Sanctum Spirit. Alright. So there's not a Reproach in their hand, or they would have just attacked. I think Danitha, because Danitha blocks the Spirit. So... And I think I just leave up. Their board is getting big, and I don't win the race as the board gets wider. I need to be able to hold their creatures back. Yep. Alright, interesting choices here. I think probably bounce the Spirit and still don't get in because I need something to block the Knight. Send them off tempo. Build out more of a board state. They're running out of cards and they don't have any bombs down right now. So if I can just kind of hold them off and then crack my Memorial, I'll win the match through just sheer card advantage. Yep. No effective blocks for you. I think... it's probably Deep Freeze. I don't think I want to do any of that stuff. At some point I need to start getting in with the Jin. 4/4 is now sufficiently large enough. I think I want to Deep Freeze the Knight because the Knight is the only thing that Danitha can't block, and then Danitha can sort of hold everything back. So we're going to start with a swing. Oh, that's right, it's cheaper. Plus, by doing this, we've got 3 tough or power worth of first strike for blocking, so we can double them up to take out big things. We've got a big advantage by having all this first strike down, so that's why the Knight of the Grace is a prime target for the deep freeze. Yeah, so we'll be deep freezing that next turn. 1 planes, no, 2 up. So it could be Adamant Will or Gideon's Reproach. With that in mind, I think I'm going to try and trade off the Sanctum Spirit to the Journey Mage. Just take 4. We'll swing back. Yep. 2 mana for another Unicorn. So just go ahead. How much mana do I have? Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 5 to crack this. So if I 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't deep freeze and crack the Memorial this turn. So this is enough of a problem. I think I just need to deep freeze it and worry about the Memorial later. They do not have Reproach. I kind of played around it last round, but I think if they did, that they would have left up for it to hit the Jin before blocks. Oh, that's big right now. Where is my other deep freeze? Let's go ahead and crack this. I could draw the 3rd deep freeze. Still need to pay 1 more. I got the island in hand already, so we'll leave that. Nope. So they're at 19 and I'm at 16. Next turn I can kick the Drake. They got the life link. So I think I need to leave Danitha up to block the Unicorn and then sort of go into race mode. So Danitha and Disciple will be left up as blockers. Disciple to chump Chana and Danitha to block the Unicorn. Go ahead and take the 3 and then just keep clocking in with the Jin here. If we draw a removal spell next turn, then we are looking pretty good. If not, the race math is hard. Sorry, that was on me. Always hitting the wrong button. Let's see, what would be good? Jousting Lance would be good. Deep Freeze would be good. Reproach is a little weak. Not quite what I need. I guess I can combine Reproach with a creature and get the 2 for 1. So that's interesting. So if I top deck Reproach... No, because if they play any creature, I'm out of range for that, for a double block and then Reproach. So I think I just need to jump. Keep jumping and just get in the air. kicked Untamed Kavu. I think I have enough lands here. So if I kick Academy Drake, let's see, I hit for 5, they go down to 9. I kick Drake, that's another 4/4. That's exactly lethal next turn. And then they swing at me for, let's see, 8 plus 5 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 exactly. But I get to leave up Danitha for blocks, and the Drake is still around to block. So I get to... So I stop the Unicorn, and I block probably the 2/2, and I take Shauna for 8, 13, 14, 15, and gain 2. That's probably going to be 9. They might have another creature, so let's account for that. So 9, so 14, 15, 16, 17, but then I gain 2 to, so a net loss of 15. So if it's just a creature, then I have it. This is enough mana to kick this, right? Yeah, I've got 8. Okay. 2 cards left in their hand. It's Wild Onslaught, I'm just dead. So what else could it be? If it's Wild Onslaught, if I block 8, the 8 there, let's assume that, so if they all become 1 bigger. Yeah, if they all become 1 bigger, it doesn't matter, because I don't have enough to come back. Okay, let's see what happens. We're going to block there, and we're going to block there, and take 8, 13, 14, 15, and gain 2. Could they have done? Thanks. Alright, well, let's go to game 3. I don't know what to say to that. Like, what could they have done differently? I don't know. I'm not sure what you could have done differently. Yeah, this hand's fine. I don't have the double white for Baird, but I've got Opt to find it. Still in the beginning of combat. Trying to play my lands on my opponent's turn. Trying to cheat. Cheaty McCheersons. Yep, that's a thing. I don't know why I'm waiting till end. I can just pop it off now they're tapped out. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put that on top. Alright. Let's jam this out in case it's top deck Jin. Let's not get fooled again. I guess if I played the other one, I could reproach the unicorn, but I don't want to reproach the unicorn when I've got blockers in hand that handle it. Don't waste removal when your creatures can get the job done. Oh, should have, no, this is good. So, I go ahead and drop this, and then next turn I have the ability to both play the Deep Freeze and the Reproach, because the Deep Freeze will be one cheaper. So, and here they come in the air. Jousting Lance. Huh. So, I think the plan is still the same. I think I'm going to Deep Freeze the Corsair, and then if they try and equip up and Jousting Lance the Unicorn, then I can just sort of time walk them. I'm going to go ahead and do the Deep Freeze first main in case they've got Reproach themselves. So that way, then if I don't do that, then I can't actually cast the Deep Freeze and the Reproach in the second main. Just hoping to get to 5 here for Teferi, which will take the game over. I don't have anything to do here. Lance up. Oh, because now Danitha can't get in. Okay. Okay, I see where you're going here. Yeah, I don't have any answers for that. What happened? Well played. Well played. So they're down to 2 cards in their hand. And if I don't top deck a land, I'm in trouble here. So I think I want to Reproach just to try and slow this down. Yes. Perfect. So this turn I think it's just Teferi and get the card advantage going. I don't really need to get creatures down. I'm not really looking to block anything. So we're just going to get stuff. Oh, that's a good draw. We'll go to end step. Sapper. It's not a bad one. As much as I'd like to play the Jin, I think top decking a Plains to be able to play Baird would be nicer. It's a tough call. Because I bounce. Problem is that the Sap Herd gets through in most situations. At 4 power and first strike, it either just gets to hit Teferi or eat something. I think maybe I just want to Journey Mage bounce it. They get another... Oh, I should have plussed in case I get... Let's do this first. Look at more cards first. Yeah, that's fine. So then Journey Mage bounce the Sap Herd. They get another Sapperling out of it, but then they got to spend their whole next turn doing this thing again. Whereas my board expands and theirs is kind of staying the same. It's getting a little bit bigger, but I'm still satisfied. I think I probably block this, because they don't know I have Syncopate. They're going to try and second main that Sap Herd back out. And now, if I can keep Teferi alive, I can play this Kolos and just sort of blank that, or play the Jhin. So we're going to go for the blocks here. I want to keep Teferi up high. I'd like to ultimate. Yep, it's a no for me. Done. Now that you could have done differently. Should I say that? That'd be rude. Step. Alright, let's do this correctly this time. So if I get, yes, I get a plains. Do I have enough to both drop? Yeah, so, right, 1, 2, 3, no. 5, 6, 7, yeah, no, that's it. 1, 2, 3. I can't count these stacks. That's why I like the number, but sometimes I gotta make myself actually look at it. So yeah, and we're done for this turn. Come. Yeah, that's fine. Do you also have a trick? Two cards in hand. We'll bait the trick out. I don't think they've got it. Gift of Growth. They do got it. Now they're down to one card. I am kind of training bomb for bomb here. So I like this. See, how many mana am I at? 6, 7, 8. Oh, I do have no, I don't quite have enough to do. I do, because I get to untap the lands. So let's go ahead and plus. And there's another land. And then we will jam this thing out. Yeah, no, I will leave that. No. Teferi can stay. Reach. Yeah, that is a thing. Okay, sweet kicker. In case I draw just a scoop. Yeah, that was pretty rough for our opponent there. They really misplayed by not playing the Sap Herd first. If they had played the Sap Herd, I could not have syncopated it. And maybe they should have played with that in mind. But other than that, you just had better cards. What can we say? Thanks for joining. See you. Come join me again.